Now, I want you to think about for a minute the word distraction and what does it actually mean? Inside that word is distract. And when you think about the fact that this is plaguing so many of us today because we don't understand what it really means to focus. Now, when we think about focus, you want to understand what does it all have to do with and what are we really focusing on? What is it really that we're trying to get done? What is it we're really trying to accomplish? And sometimes it's hard to really answer that because sometimes we really lose sight of what we are supposed to be doing and what's actually supposed to be taking place. Now, I want you to understand anything you're trying to do in your life right now, anything that you want to get done, it's not going to happen without understanding how to use this thing that we call focus. Now, when you think about focus, it's not just a word. It actually means something. And it actually has to be really, something that we start wrapping up in a different, sort of a model to understand how to actually arrive at it. And what is it that we actually have to do? What do we have to change to get there? I want to go to the whiteboard for a minute. Let me show you a very important equation that we all need to understand. Now, when we first think about this critical thing, I want you to understand we all can understand the importance of time, right? Now, time plus purpose equals achievement, right? Time plus purpose equals achievement. Another equation I want you to understand is time minus purpose equals distraction. So we think about the reality of why we can't focus. It's a lot of times because our time is absent of purpose. So I want you to understand that this is where distraction comes from, is when our time is absent of purpose. Now, let me look at you for a minute, and I want you to understand this. When you think about purpose, we have to get really clear on what is the things that we're really trying to accomplish. What is the things we want to get to? What do we want to arrive at? We cannot just continue just to live, right? One day after another. But there's no sense of purpose. I'm going to school, but I don't know why. I'm working on this job, but I don't know what I want to do next. I'm doing these things, I'm eating and doing these things, and I want to feel better, but I have no plan of what I'm going to do to take care of my health. I want to be in a good relationship. I'm not doing anything to help myself be someone that is, a person that is ready to have a good relationship. I want more friends, but what am I doing to actually be a better friend, to increase my skills, to be able to build relationships in that way? The things that we want, when we're not purposeful, when we're not intentional, when we don't know specifically what we want, then we also, are in a situation where we really don't have the right to complain about why we don't feel a certain way or don't have a certain thing. Because until we put something in that space that is of meaning, then we can't get upset that there's so many things in our life without meaning. Until we get serious about the fact that there's something that we really want to get done, right? We can't, sit back and be concerned about the fact that we always feel like nothing got done. Something is going to fill this space, and it's up to us. If we allow purpose to come in here, it's up to us if we allow meaning to come here. It's up to us if we allow value to come in here. And that is a decision we must make. We have to understand, what are we going to do? What equation are we going to live by? Now, let's go to another level, though. Let's go back to the whiteboard here. I'm going to show you a more powerful, actual equation. I'm going to do this in a different color here. It's time multiplied by purpose, right? And this equals high achievement, right? And when we talk about this little difference here and having this multiplication here, but what this really is a thing that we call leverage. Leverage. So we want to create leverage. Now, we create leverage when the amount of input, right, has a exponential growth on the output. In other words, I put 2 in and get 8 out. I put 3 in and get 9 out, right? I put 9 in and get 50 out. So we're looking for things that allow us to use our time more creatively. This is what the wealthy do. This is what the productive people do. This is what the individuals do that are achieving their goals as entrepreneurs. This is what the people do that seem like they just get more done in their life, is because they have found a way to create leverage. They have found a way to be smarter about what they're doing in the same constraint of time that you and I both have. So when you find a way to create leverage, right? Where you get a greater output. Sometimes that's by something you invest in. Sometimes that's by something you outsource. Sometimes that's by the way that you actually, focus your resources on something that moves the needle more, right? So these are the things that we have to consider. And this is why so many people just can't focus, because they don't understand that their time is absent of purpose, and they don't understand how to create leverage. Now, let's go back here. Let me go a little bit further with this. And I want you to understand something. So when you think about focus, right? So it's really the ability to distinguish. We want to distinguish what we should do from what we should not do, right? And the ability to distinguish this is really the hard part. How do we distinguish what we should do and what we should not do? Now, here's a big reason where people cannot focus is because when we get this dividing line here, right? And we start to understand that on these things that I should not do, some of these things are bad, right? Say we got a few bad things over here. I shouldn't eat junk food. I shouldn't spend time talking about other people or doing things that, are harmful to myself or whatever. But here's the other one we miss, is some of these over here are good. And so a part of being able to minimize distraction in your life is to realize whatever it is that you should do. So I'm going to draw a little bullseye here, right? Whatever it is that we should do, that we want to get the arrow to here, right? To be able to focus on this thing that I need to do, sometimes it means that I have to be willing to not do some things that are both bad and good. And this is where people make the mistake. They'll say, well, no, all of these good things, I want to try to still do this because it's good. It's something that's going to help me with this and help me with that. It's something that I know I need to get done. It's something, but you don't see, you still can't do all of that and be successful at what you should focus on right now. Now, keep in mind, there's a time to look for rhythm and balance, and there's a time to be completely focused on something. You cannot have both, right? So you have to be able, just like in music, there's tension and there's rest. Even between notes and chords, there's tension and rest. That's what makes music work. You got to have a little bit of both. When you're working out, it's about tension and rest. You need both. You can't have tension and rest. You can't have rest and tension. They stand alone. So sometimes we have to have moments of tension where we're highly focused. And we have to have other moments of rest where we're more balanced. And we're trying to get to more things and make sure we're getting to these areas of life that are important. But if we don't realize, there's got to be moments of tension where that's the only thing you're doing, because there's no way to get that thing done until you make a decision to remove all the things that you should not do to get this done. That means I can't even do some things that are good, right? Good for me, good to me, things I want to do, goals, whatever. But it's still, I have to be focused. Now, that brings me to a very powerful number that I want to share with you. And that is the number 24. Now, shout out to the late Kobe Bryant. This was his number 24, but that's not what I'm talking about. The key to here to understand is that we all have 24 hours in a day. This is one of the most powerful things that you can understand, is we all have 24 hours in a day. So that is true for the millionaire. If I spelled that right, the billionaire, right? The successful, blah, blah, blah. But it's also true for the homeless, for the unsuccessful, for the poor, for the individual who, the person who doesn't believe in themselves, right? Whatever your condition is. So the thing that is so powerful about this is that the difference between different types of people, where they end up and what they actually make out of their life, is what they do with this same number. So we don't really manage time, we manage ourselves, right? In the same container of 24 hours a day, it's how I manage myself. And it is those people who manage themselves better that get better things from it. And when you know better, you can do better. So the more that you learn about your purpose, and you learn about how to fulfill that purpose by surrounding yourself with the knowledge and the mentorship and the coaching and the resources that you need so that you can know what to do when you have the time, so that that time can be valuable and it can be time added to purpose to create achievement. And if you push that to be a multiplication of actual purpose and not just an addition, because you learn about leverage, you start moving into the realm of high achievement. And this is what I want to invite all of you to do by understanding there's a way to stop losing focus so you can really achieve the things that are important to you. So make sure whatever you do, keep being the CEO of your life. As you know, CEO, charge, expand, overcome. Do everything you can to not be distracted by all the stuff that's going on, all the noise, and get laser focused on what you should be doing next, so that you can live a life of purpose and do it for yourself. Until next time, I'm Michael E. Parker. Keep being the CEO of you.